Quaid Azam, Part 14. Affirmative action reservations for Muslims and other castes and communities unfortunately does not dissolve those identities. It heavily underscores them, waters their roots, perpetuating differences through the nutrients of self-interest, being pulled constantly in separateness. Reservation results finally in compartmentalizing society, hence ultimately in fragmenting national identity. That is what special reservations for Muslims in India did. But then this is only a field sketch of the ground that was then traversed. What of the historical period of which we talk? The easy answer is that this period lies broadly between 1857 and 1947. The trauma of the first 1857 was marked by a violent usurpation of the symbols of sovereignty of India by rough freebooting traders from a foreign land. The essence and the authority of the Mughal India, North India broadly, had admittedly begun to decline in the 18th century, but 1857 was a violent seizure, and that is the backdrop against which we travel those defining 4 decades of the 20th century. From Shimla delegation in 1906 to the Independence of India Act in 1946, it is these 4 decades, 1906 and 1906 to 1947, that transformed the very identity of the entire Indian subcontinent, and in a very significant manner influenced events and issues globally too. The journey was from special reservation, which had built in a bias in the arithmetic democratic representation, to finally a vivisection of land itself. This effectively defines the conceptual, the territorial, and the historical limits of this tragic journey. I venture on this perilous path to search for, I must know for myself, what happened, what brought about this great catalysm of 1947. For an event of such transforming consequences, clearly all cannot hold uniform views. They are sharply divergent. A view widely held in India, for example, is that partition was a tragedy. A vivisection and discussion in India therefore tend to be focused upon identifying reasons and apportioning blame for this failure to maintain the unity of the subcontinent, as well as mitigating the terrible consequences of division. With admirable detachment, the blame is often laid at the feet of the Congress leaders. Had they done this or refrained from doing that? Have they done this or refrained from doing that? Partition could have been avoided. In Pakistan, on the other hand, where naturally it cannot be accepted that partition should have been avoided, there is a tendency to plumb the growth of Muslim nationalism into the depths of the history and connect that with a kind of seemingly inevitability of establishment of a Muslim state, Muslim nation. That is, in a sense, is also the genesis of both this search and the book proper, the conceptual canvas on which we work. The construct, however, of the book is even simpler, and it has to be if we are to trace our journey through all those many challenges, the great climbs and the abysmal pitfalls of those epochal decades.